So I'm on Fox Business News. Now listen to this, people.
Johnson, a hero to many. Let's give you the backstory. Alice served 21 years in prison for a first-time drug offense. Originally sentenced to life, Alice was pardoned by former President Trump, now fighting the good fight, trying to help people. Alice, thank you so much for joining us. It's good to see you. What a story. I mean, so many people look up to you. You truly are a hero. When you see this new D.C. debate on the U.S. crime wave harming women, the question's been, where is the Me Too movement? Where are the defund the police Democrat women who pushed for that? Where Nancy Pelosi, Kamala Harris, Hillary Clinton, Rashida Tlaib and the squad? You know what I mean? So that's what we're hearing from female law enforcement, from women victims of crime. What do you think? What's your take?
Well, Liz, as a woman, I do not want to defund the police. I think we need to fund the police and make sure that they're focused on the things that they need to be focused on, not just writing tickets trying to raise money.
You hear that? Not just writing tickets and trying to raise money.
I've been
Because
working
they do
with
a lot of that.
Smith, a former Trump advisor, on a public safety coalition, and that is what we're doing. Is we're working to have safe on crime, smart on crime solutions that will help people like me. I don't know any woman personally who wants to defund the police.
Yeah, so minority women and minority communities getting hit hard, right? Because, by the way, this is both a red and blue state issue. It's an American issue. We've got double-digit increases in murder and assaults. I mean, a broad surge in gun violence. People are saying, well, it's happening in red states. It's because of cities, some would say, were run by Democrats. But it's a weak on crime policies that, women are talking about more and more.
Yes, it is something that is very concerning, not only to women, but as you say, to all Americans. And this is something that we must address in a broader way. I want to give you an example of a good friend of mine in Dallas, Anton Lucky. He was a former gang member. He went to prison. He did his time. He rehabilitated. He's come back to Dallas. And now he's working with the chief of police in Dallas to help solve solutions in that city. He even met with rival gang members and had them lay their weapons down. We really need to get back to the things like what President Trump led, the First Step Act. We need to get back to smart
Talking about
crime
Trump.
solutions. We need more steps, not defunding the police. I truly believe that there is a path forward, but we have to start at the community level. We have to be able to get communities involved. This is a national issue, but it's affecting communities on the ground.
All across the country.
All across the country.
Alice, let's get your reaction to this.
Especially in Chicago. Y'all heard about what's going on in Chicago, right?
Defunding the police has to happen. We need to defund the police.
Yes, I support the defund movement.
What y'all feel about this defunding the police?
NYPD budget and defunding a $6 billion
Everybody, protect yourself. Learn how to protect yourself.
We need to defund, but we need to dismantle and start anew.
I think about what I could have done.
Bare your arms. Look at this lady face. Ladies, that's what I'm telling y'all. Learn self-defense. Even if you do have a man, you can't be with your man all the time. Learn some self-defense classes.
Pretty much saying that these victims' traumas were in vain.
This man intentionally tried to kill us. There's bullet those casings in the hallway. The shot went through my door to the pillar to the kitchen. I was cooking food for my kids.
When I was attacked, he was already on 3 grants of felony probation. He had attacked 3 women, 2 of them with a golf club and a hammer, and he threatened to harm them. And I had asked the judge, I said, how many more women
Damn,
does
they
this
mess with
defendant
more
have
people
to
who
hurt
drive without license or insurance
to
than
this court?
people who doing real crimes.
Thank you for you killed my daughter along with the other ones. And all the other kids.
Me personally, I feel like,
been killed,
you know,
and the parents aren't getting
it's
justice.
certain universal laws that people shouldn't break. You know, harming people, raping somebody, kidnapping.
This is. I wish
That's-
they
that's-
would in my community.
They worry about all this other
Talk
petty
to
stuff
some
and
women
not the
there
major
and
issues.
ask them, do they want them to defund the police? I work.
You
as-
want the Democrat women are saying to
I
police?
want
them?
some. I want the reporters. I want the ones who are getting attention. I want any politician to go into the neighborhoods and go boots on the ground. Ask the people who are living this daily. Do you want us to defund the police? And I think every answer would be no. We want to be safe. Who are we going to call upon? Who are the women going to call upon to protect us? I work as an ambassador for Stand Together, and we support, along with Jerron Smith, a public safety coalition, as I said, with smart on crime solutions. We have got to come up with. We cannot have these knee-jerk reactions, and that's not being smart on crime to let people who are doing these smash and grabs just let them go. The people who are committing violent crimes. I think all of us have.
But the stuff they put in motion backfired on their
White
ass.
House is demanding more spending on cops, right? But it's undercut by defunding
All this
police,
shit with
by
these
no cash bail, by early
ghost
release,
guns and all this
violent
other
criminals,
crazy ass
cases of
shit.
murder, homicide, robbery, and kidnapping.
Look at what these people doing who got these ghost guns. And they don't look like, they ain't melanated people.
Democrat critics are saying this is just a code phrase to scare white voters to.
Oh, they do got a relief
Republicans
for
can
Hurricane
protect
Ian.
them
Okay.
from supposedly dangerous black people.
That's
or
good to know,
immigrants who
family.
commit
Y'all
violent
see
crimes.
that.
When you hear that, what's your reaction?
I think that is a very foolish notion, and it is very dangerous rhetoric to.
This a
put out
crazy
there
year.
because
Stock
it
market
is so
gonna then
untrue
crash.
that I think it is all
We
of
finna
our
go into it. We
responsibility
already in
to
an
get
economic
involved in this
recession.
and let our voices be heard. I will not be
Real estate
solving
market
this
probably
issue
finna, housing
because
market probably
I
finna
want
crash.
police
This a
that
crazy year,
want to
y'all.
serve.
This been a
We
crazy
don't have
few
such
years,
a
I promise
low
you.
number of people who are even interested in being police officers. We need to bring dignity back to that job and make sure that they have the funds and the training that they need to properly do their job.
Well, Alice, you're bringing dignity to this movement. That's what you're doing, and your voice is so powerful. Alice Marie Johnson, thank you so much for joining us. Will you come back soon? We're going to stay on this story.
I would love it. I
Love
would
to have
love to
you
come
back
back,
on.
Liz. I
I
would
want to
love
talk
it.
about your big family, too. You're one of 9, 8
One of
girls.
9.
Oh, my God.
My poor
That's
brother.
Your poor brother. He was outnumbered. Okay.
Yes.
Alice, thank you so much.
Oh, I'm gonna let this one roll. I was about to stop it, but they talking about the housing. Look how they doing this. We was glad about this stimulus and all the money they was printing out during COVID, and yeah, some people needed it. But look what it costing us now.
Katie, good to see you. So first, let's go to Florida. What are you guys doing on the ground in Florida? Obviously, as you think about it, if homes are flooded, I'm sure grocery stores are flooded, food is ruined. Are you on the ground helping Floridians?
Yeah, you bet we are, Sean. And let me first say we are, our hearts and our prayers are with everyone who's impacted in Florida. The Feeding America network of food banks is led down in Florida right now by Feeding Florida. And what we do is we're there 365 days a year. So we have a plan in place that we have already activated. We pre-staged product, MREs, water, paper supplies, disaster boxes, all sorts of nutritional supplements, and those have been strategically placed throughout the state and in communities, at community-based pantries and areas where they could safely be staged. And so we're activating now to get
Look
that
at this,
food out to
y'all. That's
people.
crazy.
Of course, we're in still search and rescue mode in many communities.
I hope they
But
find them
people's
people,
needs
for real.
housing and food are vital and immediate right now.
You know, let's pull back a little bit. Look at the country as a whole and the food banks that
Use the mega churches and them sports stadium to let them people stay in.
Yeah, sadly, Sean, we have the increased prices on food and certainly in fuel. Before
Shout out to the emergency workers that's out there working, really saving people's lives. Shout out to them.
And people are having to make really difficult decisions between do they pay their rent, their mortgage, their medical bills or prescriptions, or get food. And people will cut food. So we have seen record lines at food banks, even over the summer. August for many of our food banks was the highest they've seen, even as compared to the pandemic. The difference is we're not in the pandemic, so people can go to their local pantries. We don't have the large drive-through distributions that we had before, but the need is very high, and this disaster is going to make things even worse, especially for those folks immediately impacted.
You know, I've talked to a number of people who have had to cut out meat. You know, with they'll do spaghetti without meat in the sauce, and a number of things like that, peanut butter and jelly, ham and cheese sandwiches. It's just been so hard on people.
It's crazy, family. Y'all better tighten up. Get your beans and rice and canned goods together. I'm not a canned good fan, but emergency situations, it's gonna come in handy.
Energy prices are up. You know, what do you see with food prices, are we going to see some dissipation in prices, or are they going to continue to rise?
You know, Sean, I wish I knew. I'm all about getting food to hungry people, so I don't know.
So now they're saying this might cause food prices to rise. Be prepared, fam. Don't panic. Just prepare.
Pressure or injury to the supply chain will have an impact on the price of food, the price of fuel, and our ability.
Look at this fuel, like it ain't high enough. Gas here went down, and then it just shot back up out of nowhere. Come on, what you doing, Joe? Sleepy Joe?
People who are on the margin in food insecurity because they're experiencing right now the cost of evacuation, the cost of temporary housing, home repairs that they're having to do right now before federal aid can really hit the ground. So I would expect that if we continue to see real problems in the supply chain, we're going to continue to have a struggle with food prices.
Katie, quickly, if people wanted to help out, where do they go if they want to donate to?
If y'all want to help out.
If people wanted to donate, if people want to help out, where can they do that?
She done lost her.
I think we lost her. We got little gremlins in our connection. I apologize for that. Loading. We can't calculate right now our mission is life-saving.
Yeah, fam. This right here. This crazy.
No way to integrate on that.
No.
This crazy.
But BDO does.
People who know BDO.
Ian has re-strengthened into a Category 1 hurricane with sustained winds of 75 miles per hour. It is now expected to make landfall along the South Carolina coast around midday tomorrow. Joining me now, FEMA Office of Response and Recovery.
This lady from FEMA. Let me hear what she blow out her mouth.
Joining me now, Ann, good to see you. So let's go to Florida first. What are you hearing from your first responders on the ground? What are they seeing as they go out and try to help those who are stranded and stuck in the great state of Florida?
Thanks, Sean. Yes, our first responders have been embedded in a coordination cell with the state of Florida and local responders, as well as our counterparts in federal agencies such as the Coast Guard for Marine Rescue and others, including CBP. We've been on the ground and in the search and rescue area since 4 a.m. this morning. We'll continue those efforts. We are going to continue until those efforts are complete. Right now, our mission is life safety, and we're there in lockstep with the state to support those efforts.
And we heard the governor talk about this, with this 2.67 million, I'm going off the top of my head, Floridians without power. Are you part of the effort to try to help and organize to get power back up in the state? And if you are, how long do you think it'll take to get power to residents in Florida?
Absolutely. As the Lieutenant Governor said, there's a very large mutual aid mission and system within Florida with tens of thousands of linemen actively addressing.
Look at the stock market numbers. Stock market went down.
Partners at the Army Corps of Engineers who support power restoration.
Crypto is down.
Installation for critical infrastructure,
Gold
critical
down. Oil down.
And the like. So as we learn of power outages at those types
The
of
U.S. dollar
facilities,
strong right now. That's what they're saying.
And the Army Corps to make sure temporary power is available.
We talk about FEMA resources. Obviously, you're on the ground in Florida, but we're watching the storm now going to be a Category 1, possibly hitting South Carolina. Do you have enough resources to help in Florida, but also prepare for the storm that's going to potentially hit in South Carolina as well?
We do. We're built for this, and we have the resources we need to ensure that we can respond to any and all crises and incidents as they unfold. We're actively working right now with Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, active communication with them to ensure all their needs are met. We have FEMA personnel embedded in their emergency operations center.
Shout out to the South, man. It's like the whole South going through it. North Carolina, South Carolina. Shout out to y'all, man.
And we've heard that the Strategic Petroleum Reserve is at its lowest level since 1984. We see energy come offline when a storm like this hits, especially those rigs that are out in the Gulf Coast. Do you have any concern about American energy right now as we have a depleted reserve and also energy that's not coming from the Gulf Coast?
So one of our goals post-storm is to ensure that all systems go back online and go back to green. We're actively working with our partners in federal government and at the state level to ensure ports are back open. We're actively working that now. We expect progress there shortly, and we expect the state of Florida to be back on their feet very soon.
Good. And thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.